come on, and here they come. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Very good. Excited to get talking and hear about this team that you've assembled heading into this year. And obviously, it's a new team. You brought in a lot of transfers. To start off, what's the chemistry like with this group?
I think on some days it's incredible. I think, really bought in, have a lot of great moments. But like you kind of, shared, it's a lot of new faces. It's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of reteaching. But I think our returners are doing a really nice job of leading and pulling kids along. And I think we got a lot of kids really bought into the new and filling spots. So I've been proud of them overall. But with a lot of new faces, there's going to be a few hiccups, couple up and downs. But that's just going to be part of the process, and everything we talk about is process over product. So got to be patient with that. I'm sure I don't seem too patient in practice most days, but in the grand scheme of it, it's about being patient and allowing the process to take place.
Well, Coach, you're not able to ease into things. Your non-conference schedule is really intense. Some really impressive Power 4 conference opponents that you guys have to play. What have you guys been working on the most? You're talking about the teaching. What have you been honing in on in these practices as you gear up for the year?
Overall physicality. We know we're going to be undersized. Anybody at our level taking on all 4 power conferences, we're going to be undersized. That doesn't mean that we should be a step slow. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be every bit as physical. And so it's about upping our level of physicality, our communication. But really, although we have an incredible non-conference, it's going to be very much about focusing on us. What are the things we can critique? I think we've had a lot of good scrimmage action. That it's allowed us to get good film in and kind of sees the ups and downs of what we're doing. But as V can attest to, in a rebounding drill today, we talked a lot about if you let Coach Brown push you down into the paint, the same thing's going to happen on November 3rd. And so it's just impressing upon them the level of physicality that we're going to have to play with and continuing to grow in our eliteness and in our passing and our decision making.
Did I see that last season you had a school record for the most 3-pointers? Was that right?
200. Yeah, 233. This one was a big help there.
Right. Are you still going to be shooting it just as much this year? Can we expect, more of the same from the perimeter?
Absolutely. Of course, from V, her game's just continued to only grow and get better. She's a kid that really does it all on the court, off the court. But yeah, absolutely. We're losing Sharna Ayers and Maya Blake and 2 players that, shot a lot of those, took a lot of those attempts last year, but we replenished it. With kids that shoot a tremendous percentage from the 3-point line. And I think at this point, roughly our girls have gotten about 5,000 additional threes off throughout this preseason, not to mention what they've done over the summer. And so it is a big part of our game. We want to play quick. We want to let it fly, try to shoot 25 to 30 threes a game. But you have to be able to hit those shots too to play that style. So they've been putting the work in, and like I said, V's been absolutely tremendous. I think she's shooting roughly 80% from the 3-point line right now at practice. So we're looking forward to big things from her, but not just her, but really all those kids that we put around the perimeter this year.
Yeah, Coach, you're sitting next to the reigning conference freshman of the year in V, and I want to talk to you, V, about what this offseason has been like for you. What have you been working on after you have a great start to your college career? How do you look to take that next step now?
Yeah, I've been working a lot more on, of course, my game offensively, but I don't think a lot of people do this, but I think defensively, I really want to see an improvement there. I just feel like it's time to bring more energy in that end for sure. Offense is going to happen. It's just what it is, but defensively, I really want to get better in that area.
V, what's it been like for you bonding with all your new teammates this year? You got a bunch of new players joining you. What's the chemistry been like from your experience? What have you liked about playing with this new group?
Oh yeah, we get along. We get along really well. I feel like this group is just the laughter. They bring a lot of laughing, funny, making everybody just smile. This is definitely that group, and I'm really happy about that. Yeah, on the court, I feel like our chemistry is also getting along pretty well. It's definitely it has a lot more to improve, but I feel like where we are right now is really good, and I can't wait to see where we are right now.
Coach V was talking about how she wants to take a step with her defense. You also have someone like Alexis Cauldron, who's the Southland defensive selection. What she brings on that end of the floor. What do you like about her game, and how do you think she can help this team?
I will tell you, the saying, if you can't beat them, join them. Well, we had the opportunity to get 2 wins last year. However, Maya Blake was a tremendous point guard, and there was 1 or 2 kids in particular she hated playing against. And one of those is Alexis Calderon. And I tell Alex that is a huge compliment. She adds a lot of spice to practice. But yeah, just her defensive tenacity, that is her game in totality. That's how she operates for 94 feet. That's how she plays on offense, defense. Probably one of the most competitive kids I've had the opportunity to coach. And so I think that that's only going to help drive success. I think she pulls, players along with that spiciness. And when I say that, I mean it as a compliment. People hate playing against her. And to me as a player, that's one of those things you should wear as a badge of honor. But I'm excited. I think she's done a really nice job this preseason, doing a really nice job in the areas that we wanted to kind of continue to grow and add to her game. But I think she's going to be a very impactful player. She already has proven in the Southland. And I think she's ready to have a real storied, final season.
Yeah, alongside Alexis and Naya, you bring in a bunch of players who come from the non-D1 ranks, who people might not know a ton about yet. You might be able to surprise them a little bit. Walk me through someone who might surprise me, who I'm maybe not paying enough attention to this year, who I need to be keeping an eye on.
I really think there's a lot of kids. We have too big of a new roster to delve into what you just asked. But I think anybody on our team right now could surprise not just you, but all of us. I think we have players that are 3-level scorers. We have players that, can shoot it for 50% from the 3-point line, 60% from inside, 90 from free throw. I think it's just all of us continuing to grow, get better together, and kind of continue to grow within the program. But Naya Valentine, paired with Alexis Calderon, Naya was a tremendous point guard for ULM. She was recruited to Clemson out of junior college, where she was a 2-time JUCO All-American. Her assist-to-turnover rate, she was phenomenal. And although she's in a new system, has this 1 year, she's continuing to grow in her role. She's a phenomenal 3-point shooter. We have transfers from the NAIA level. We have transfers from the D2 level. But we also have a freshman, a state champ, a Louisiana state champ, in Samaya. And so I think she's going to do stuff. She's a different build than what we're normally used to, but she's got great hands around the rim. I think she has the opportunity to maybe hold off some of these big post players that maybe in the past that we've struggled to hold off the block. But I think really it's anyone's game as far as who's in our program. I think there's a lot of big nights that could happen for a lot of players. And so for us, it's just about getting all those big nights, maybe sooner rather than later, to kind of come together. But there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of players to do really special things. And we have a lot of 1-year kids. And that was their goal, in the recruiting process, is to have this storied 1 year and play in a program that encourages fast, quick threes. We do defense a lot, but we had a lot of success in the Southland last year defensively with that. I'm excited. We know that V wants to work on that area. She's had a phenomenal preseason in that regard and still growing and getting better daily. I don't want to name just one kid. I think really you and I could be shocked game by game because there's the potential for it all the time.
Coach, I'm sure it's challenging for you trying to put together a new team and fit everyone together, but what are the benefits for these players that have played under other systems and have learned different styles and philosophies?
What you hope it's bringing is going to be a maturity to the game, an understanding of the level, an understanding of the intensity in which we need to play with. But everybody has to have their time to kind of get through the new. And I think it's going to take us some of these non-conference games to really grow together and come together. I think V hit it. And I can really appreciate the honesty, that she shared. I think the chemistry off the court is phenomenal. They're goofy. They laugh probably too much sometimes in practice too. V's the grandma of the group. I still don't get that, but that's her new nickname, I guess. Which she bypassed being a mom and jumped straight to grandma. But, they have the chemistry and it is about growing it off the court, but we still have been throwing a lot of stuff at them. So to think that we're going to be flawless in our chemistry on the court, I think is silly. But I think when you have it off the court, like V said, it's good, but we have a long ways to go. And I think it's going to take this really gauntlet of a preseason non-conference to really help us come together and put all of our backs against the wall, and then really fight and grow.
V, how are you the grandma of the group? What does that mean? And you're way too young to be a grandma. What are we talking about?
Honestly, I don't even really know when it started. I just like Lex for sure. Like one practice just started calling me granny, and I was like, okay, like that was okay. And then next practice, and then out of practice, and then like it just kept going. I was like, you know what? And I think she would even say she started calling me that just because, like, compared to everybody else, she definitely thinks I'm an old head, so I can't escape it.
She's mature.
Thank you. That's the word.
That's a
Yep.
good way to put it.
It somehow just do the rest of your teammates have nicknames? Have you delegated a name to anyone in particular?
Yes, they have
Yes.
an abundance of nicknames.
Actually, like everybody has at least 3 nicknames. Peyton, P-Man, P-Ski, Jay, Jalen, J-Ski, anything with a ski, really, just be word for that. Like we can really keep going. Mina, Merminer, like demeanor, like it just keeps going. Every day someone gets called something new, like honestly.
They can remember everybody's nickname, but sometimes we struggle with our plays.
I'm going to be paying attention on the court and listening out for some nicknames. I'm going to listen out for Grandma.
I don't want to know my nicknames for sure.
Yeah, tell us, V. What are your nicknames for Coach? I want to hear. I want to hear.
Yeah, I think you're setting me up right now. This is a setup.
What a good one. Do you have do you call her anything to her? Like what is it? Just Coach?
Yeah, it's just Coach for now. Yeah, it's Coach.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I won't get you in any trouble today. I'll leave you away from that. Coach, we've talked about the kids that you're able to get out of the transfer portal. I'm curious, when you're, and I use a verb now, I call it portaling. When you're portaling, what are the big things that you're seeking, that you're looking for? What are your non-negotiables, but also like what's your plan of attack when you're getting in there and looking for players to join this program?
I mean, obviously, at face value, you're looking for players that are proven and have impacted the current program they're under. I think when you are portaling, there's so much that you have. It's like building really quick relations. It's like speed dating, and you're trying to get to know somebody, and before they hit the buzzer, and you got to move on. But at face value, you're looking for players that have already been proven, or maybe they're a JUCO kid, and maybe they went to a level in which we knew they could have had a lot of success with us, but maybe went a level or 2 up. You're looking at that. We're looking at kids that we've offered in the past that maybe did jump in the portal after 1 year. But what are they doing where they're at? And then at that, I'm not scared to call their coach. I think we have to be very comfortable in this new world of portaling. And that I'm just going to call the coach of where they're leaving. And I think I have become now a 4-year JUCO in some sense. And I think every coach has to take it that way. It's not, you shouldn't take offense to it. Obviously we're beyond grateful that V came back. It's not lost on us. She could have had other opportunities, but she's loyal to the program, both her academic program, her basketball program, her teammates, the staff, of which we'll forever be loyal to her. But again, face value, what do they do? And it may not just be, like with Naya, she had a great year at ULM. She was a 2-time JUCO All-American, so you see it. We recruited her out of JUCO. So it was already a place where we were very confident in what she could do. And so the opportunity to recruit her out of ULM, once she got in the portal, of course. But, that was an opportunity for us to recruit a kid that we've watched since she was 18. And so it's not always these random new relationships. I think our staff does a tremendous job of taking notes, kids we've offered that maybe did choose to go somewhere else, and that's okay. But, kind of tracking them throughout the course of their season, it's a new world. But I think we all have to be open to it, and it's not going anywhere. And so figuring out how to tackle that, a lot of people are like, yeah, but you have so many 1-year kids. But in the grand scheme of it, the way we see it is every kid's a 1-year kid. And you can love on them and build them. And sometimes it is what it is. And so just growing and adapting, I think, with the whole portaling is going to be something that all of us have to do to have success.
V, I quickly want to know from you, Coach was talking about how after this freshman season you could have gone somewhere else. What was your thought process on why you wanted to stay?
Yeah, honestly, NSU has been a blessing for me ever since I've been recruited here, ever since I decided to commit here. They're just like a school who you can tell they really pour into the athletes, and they actually care about the kids that they recruit. And it was shown throughout the whole season. there's no reason to leave somewhere when like a place feels like home. Like I literally feel like at home here, and I feel comfortable here with the staff and my teammates, with the school. Like school is even perfect too, you know, as a nursing major, and they have a really good nursing program. Like there wasn't like no reason to leave because I felt at home here. Like everything was perfect here, and I didn't feel like anywhere else would even compete really. So that was really why.
I love it. Well, we're all excited to watch you on the court for another season and see what this group can do this year. And we appreciate you coming on to join us and talk with us today.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate you guys greatly.